Okay, so I had to kind of hear her closing remarks because that's Mama, the Queen, Eric kind of chewing bowl, chewing core, chewing boa. What dog? I be messing up her name so much it don't make no doggone sense. At any rate, here go the summary of what I just watched. I wish you guys could have heard that because it's extremely motivational. It don't make no sense. So now, Olivier was the first speaker after everything got started. He was talking about the bank will be stationed and headquartered in Antigua. I don't know how to spell Antigua, but I spelled it Antigua in 2022, which is an American island. So the first brother is from East Africa and lived a life of banking. Olivier, he lived a life of banking. He banked with he built the world's institutions, banking institutions, some of them. And so he was stressing that this bank is strictly for us. And the goals are to raise $1 million and have 200,000 accounts. So Amira is the outreach. That's the lady that you see in the beret. She's the NOI lady. She's with the Nation of Islam. And so she was stressing that reparations is key. So they're dealing with that. Then she was letting us know about the youth empowerment programs, which you can see very easily on the site at ADI.org, which includes cybersecurity and others. She had mentioned Wakanda, which is the name of the city of return that we're building in Africa, which is the final stop for the slave market, which was called the point of no return back when the transatlantic slave trade was going on. They changed the name to the City of Return, and they're going to modernize that space that is in Ghana on the left coast of Africa. She mentioned ADIS, ADHI Holdings, and Tropico. She said her fundraiser when she was holding up the coffee bag is called Mama Mado, Mama MADO Coffee, and they are underperforming in their fundraising efforts, and they would like to raise more funds with that. That coffee is grown in Kenya, and she invoked FUBU by saying that coffee is for us by us. She said that everyone needs to say something as we promote. Now, the Queen, Arcana, Chewing Board Kwa, she had informed us that the airport. Oh, let me go get my food. Hold on a second. She informed us that the airport and railways, so the expertise for that, within the diaspora is not coming forward uh, to let to get involved with building airports and airways. So she said, "Thank you so much." So she said, "You can't be mad that China is coming in there to build, to build." You see what I'm saying? You can't complain if you don't come forward with the expertise on how to build airports and railways. Now, me personally, I would hire people who know how to do that. You know what I'm saying? So that makes sense to me. So that I'll probably get involved in that very heavily since no one has come forward to help in that space. So that where there's a lack of support, you can easily fill the void that they need and then capitalize greatly. So that's a big deal. I'm going to remember that the entire time that I'm dealing with this group. Now, mind you, now, the reason uh, Mama uh, uh, resigned as ambassador of the African Union is because they were holding up the progress of the diaspora. So I wrote her a letter back in the beginning of 2020, and she responded in tears. And she damn near paraphrased our entire letter. Me and my crew drafted a letter for her because we thought she could get things done through the AU, but she had to quit the AU and come directly to the diaspora to make things happen because they were shutting everything down. You know what I'm saying? So that's just ridiculous. They should not have shut it down, which they did because the Most High wanted it to be shut down because the Most High works perfectly. And so she quit as ambassador and started her own organization. She's the founder and president of ADDI, the African Diaspora Development Institute. I'll get more into that later. Now that organization is backed up by an Israelite king in Ghana. So miss me with all your fakeness. I don't give a damn. Not me. No, not me. Who the fuck you talking to? So she was saying for the airport and railways that's gonna run clear through the continent, and we got a railway to do here in America as well, a high-speed rail here, uh, announced and called to action by Dr. Anderson, Dr. Claude Anderson. He's the only forensic historian for black people. So now you got so she was stressing that we must unite, and she as a matter of fact, she ended the broadcast, what you just saw there, by saying that once upon a time we was holding hands around Africa, and then at some point we let go of each other's hands, and this is how other people got into Africa and are exploiting it now. But now we're joining hands again. All of Africa is joining hands again, and the Africans in America are deemed as Africa. So we have been adopted by the African Union. So the sixth region is not an official seat. Is not an official African Union region because we don't have a million people. You understand? So we have a million people in our organization. So once I formally inform my groups, the 600 plus organizations that I'm dealing with, then we're going to petition to become an official seat and have a official state and an official seat in the African Union. You only, I'm surprised that you need that many people, a million people, because there's a country called Monaco that only has like 39,000 people over there in Europe somewhere. But whatever, it's all going to work out. All you have to do is just do the work, and everything works out perfectly. So now, that's what she was explaining to us, is that it's being exploited, and they whitewash Jesus, and Jesus is a black man. That's what she said out of her mouth. So you can miss me with all your stupidity. She's the queen. She had mentioned George Floyd's murderer is the devil. So anybody, a devil has nothing to do with color. Did she stress this? And she was saying anybody that does wickedness and all this stuff is the devil. So this is belief that I have as well. So she said the smear campaign of all these years whitewashed holy angels and blackwashed the devil. So now you ask anybody who the devil is, they're going to say it's a black man. You ask anybody who the holy angels are, they say those are white people looking pictures. I was just talking to a guy yesterday or day before yesterday about something along these lines, devils, and he asked me, do you believe in demons? He's a semi-white guy. I look at him as a white guy, but he's Sicilian, so somehow he doesn't think he's white because his ancestors were originally black and they were whited out, if you know what that means. Mate with white people and wash your black bloodline out of your system, out of your DNA. So he asked me, do I believe in demons? And I said, yeah. And he told me these anecdotes about fighting demons, like in reality. It was not like a vision. It was just like a real-time situation wherein he was hired by a company to go to a house to remodel a house. And this particular house had lost 28 families in that house. So every time they sell the house or rent the house or something, the family disappears. So they lost, can't find 28 families in that house. And the people that don't believe in these things say that they just deserted the house or abandoned the house. So they just kept renting it out. And then so they was tasked to go in there and remodel the house. So he's taking the siding off the house, and he had an encounter with Michael, the archangel, the captain of the army of Israel, right? He said Michael was 2 stories tall, had ginormous wings, about 50 feet wingspan. You know what I'm saying? 25 on this side, 25 on that side. And he had a scar that went through his eye to his nose right here. and he had a baby Incredible Hulk face. Like he described him as a Romanesque Romanesque looking guy, but he said he couldn't look at him too long because he just curled up and was like, "Oh my god," like he was about to die. So Michael had a sword with him, and Michael damn was jacking up some demons that was attacking the guy that I'm talking about. So I said that because the uh, understanding of demons and angels is black and white. So I asked him, I said, what was his ethnicity per se? You know what I'm saying? And nationality. So I guess he didn't want to say the wrong answer, so he said Roman, like ancient Roman or something. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't get a straight answer out of him. So uh, I accepted his testimony, but you know, mm, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so she had told us that this meeting is an invitation only private meeting, and so if you need an invitation, all you have to do is sign up to the group, to their group ADDI.org, because they doing the work that I've been promoting all these years. So now they actually doing it, nigga. I'm talking about for real. So now, uh, she said in her language, in the Kenyan language, what we're doing on that particular call that you just watched for 4 hours is called Tadere, Taderi, which is sitting under the tree for solutions with all the elders day in and day out until you come up with a solution and get the solution accomplished. She said that we the time for us to be consumers is over, and now it's time for us to be owners. And she said that enough is enough. All right. So then, uh, Thomas Holcheku, which was the guy that had the bridge behind him in the, the green screen. He had the bridge behind him. So he's the director of architects and engineers. So this particular meeting was an invitation for the engineers and architects, and that's both of those. So it says he stressed that this is a private invitation, and then he let us know that they have 10 sectors for banking, and then he named the 10 sectors that you can find on ADDI and all that good stuff. Hold on, let me check something right quick. Were you on the call today? Okay, so where we at? 10 sectors. So it's engineering sectors, IT, and all these other things. They need a lot of help building to help make this bank run super smooth. So anybody that's an engineer should definitely get involved with that. And then you got the IT professionals. They're looking for that, um, and all types of other things that you can find on ADDI.org. He's Then he gave us an anecdote of, he called it Jennifer's story. She's a mother of two kids, and she was standing by the stream, and she was kept chatting on the. She was her two kids were standing by the stream, an older kid and then a 5-year-old kid, and she was over on the other side somewhere, away from the kids, and just playing on the phone. Probably sunbathing or something. Just having a good time, chatting on the phone, chatting away. She was distracted, couldn't see the kids. And then when she finally got around to the kids, no, the 5-year-old kept desperately trying to get the mother's attention. Like, Mom, Mama, hey, come here. And she just, she was too distracted on her phone chatting away. So then when she finally got around to going to the two kids, she asked the older daughter, "Where's your sister?" And the older daughter just pointed down the screen like this. She's down. She's she's gone like this, right? So that was the anecdote that it gave, because the younger daughter had drowned because she was so distracted by uselessness, just chatting away and what I'm saying, having a good time, pleasure, pleasing herself. So then the older sister points downstream, and so he compared that story to how we do things. He said that when it's time to pay attention and act, we're distracted by the social medias and the mainstream media that is controlling your brain to do something other than building. He also stressed that enough is enough and let's take action. And then he called engineers again to take action. All right, so then Olivier, the main speaker that kept coming in with the kind of like the gold shirt on. His name is Olivier Kamanzi, and he's the director of this bank, ADIS Bank. ADIS is the bank, and ADIL is the uh, international limited company that is going to upstage the bank, meaning upgrade, if I'm not mistaken. So let me look that up for you so you can know what upstage means. Upstage, divert attention from towards oneself of an actor situated or occurring at the back of the stage. Okay, so they're kind of like the underwriters. So upstage is uh, underwriting and making things go happen. I live in Uganda. I would like to share with you something. Do you mind? Man, I'm busy. All right, so Olivier is the bank director. So he stressed that they don't do no talking. It's all action. Then he said, we have the opportunity to own our own financial systems. So I wanted to ask them, are they going to be connected to the World Bank system? But they didn't let me ask any questions. I was also going to ask them about some other things, but y'all don't even know that. So then uh, he let us know that instead of being economically independent, we need to be economically empowered. He's looking for seasoned pros in finance. He needs IT pros to build the online bank. Okay. He also said the stages that their goals is to develop the bank first, then uh, start a stock exchange an, an all African stock exchange, and then the third stage is to be innovative. So as things uh, progress and technologies come out, we need to develop our own technologies and and, and things of this nature. So the next speaker, the bald head guy, pretty boy, old man with the arrogance. Well, you ain't never hear his voice, so you don't know nothing about that. He is the digital tech director, so he's looking for the same things, with the IT pros. So he said, uh, "We are owning and operating a bank." He said, "This is the full 100% line from the beginning to end of banking and remittance in order to circulate dollars throughout Africa, which includes the sixth region diaspora, which is anywhere in the world outside of Africa is called the sixth region of Africa when it comes to people who identify as Africans like myself. Together with intellectuals equals power, right? So then you got new, he said that you got new and emerging technology will allow us to leapfrog the competitors. And we witnessed that in Africa when they skipped the whole lighting revolution and skipped the entire industrial revolution from beginning to end, skipped that whole scenario and went straight to digital, the digital revolution. And so now they have their phones and things, and that's like advancing them greatly without the industrial revolution, because all they need now within the industrial revolution is airports, railways, train stations, and lighting. So they're constantly recruiting people to develop those things. Amira, the NOI lady, said that the official launch of ADDI is in May. So you want to get in early. It's always best to get in anything early. If you'd have got in Bitcoin when it was less than a penny, just imagine how rich you would be now. Okay, so enough is enough. Okay, so Olivier came back on and said, you have to get ahead of the times. So just like I mentioned, if you'd have got in Bitcoin when it was just a penny, you'd be dumb rich right now. So you get ahead of the times by creating things, and then that thing grows in value over time. Damian Benjamin is the dark-skinned guy with the big full beard, the super chocolatey guy with the full beard that was presenting the Alpha card. So that's what he presented. So he's the director. He presented the Alpha card, and the Alpha card can be used anywhere in the world. He presented Universal Money, which is the name of the company. Universal Money is a, a, a Western Union type of business that you can transfer money without it at super cheap prices. And then he stressed that this should have been done 200 years ago. Okay, so that's when Amira came back on. Amira Ansar, the NOI lady. She is the director of community outreach. And then they started the Q&A. And the first guy was Stephen King. Uh, and he was stressing media promotion and marketing. He said it would be so wonderful if everybody knew about this because he has access to 2,000 people in his group, and 80% of the people in his group don't know about ADDI. And so he asked for information that he can share with his group of people. So then I had questions. I wrote them down. So they all up in the chat. They were sharing a ton of links, which I'll probably get later on. 'Cause, I don't really need the links, but one link that stood out to me is UGE, the letter U, GE, webcom. That's one that stood out to me because I never heard anything about that, and so uh, I think it's a place where you can learn how to amass wealth. Okay, so then they explained the difference between the different organizations that we were hearing all night in this presentation, right? So they were talking about ADDH, which is the holding company for ADIS, the bank. ADIS is the bank. And then ADIL is the African Diaspora International Limited, uh, who will be used to upstage the bank. So I don't know what any of those things mean. So you got the next speaker was Damian Benjamin. He came in during the Q&A, and so he had to stress that the fact that they got a Class A license to start a bank with the word Africa in it was a miracle. So he had to let us know that. And then that's when the Queen came back in, or kind of chilling board Coral came back in, and she clarified the different organizations we were hearing all night better. So she said ADDI, the organization that I keep directing you to, ADDI.org, or our ADDI.org, is the brainchild, right? That's the smart people that come together under the tree and find out the solutions for our problems, right? So it's the ideas and the solutions, and it's the nonprofits. ADDH is the for-profit arm of this movement. ADDH, the African Diaspora Development Holdings. So any for-profit initiative that you might have, uh, you submit that to ADDH. So then the brother Bright in Bulele, which was the guy in the car driving, he was stressing the Odua coin, ODUWA, Odua coin. So then Thomas came back in. He said, "This is the the." He said, "This is the big people league. This is the big people league. I know you don't know what I'm talking about right now, but I'm in this. I know what's going on here. This is the big people league. See? So he said, try becoming a board member of Chase Manhattan Bank. You can't. So in this situation, you can become a board member of this bank that's owned by us and for us. You see what I'm saying? So that's the whole summary of the 4 hour presentation. Hope you enjoyed it.